Good afternoon, good day to you all out there in the universe. Another edition of Happy Funday Sunday, brought to you by yours truly. I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but I'm in the middle of checking out, I would say, this documentary on HBO Max called Kobe, The Making of a Legend. It's fitting for me to start the first topic of this afternoon's episode with the NBA, but I want to start with this. I myself I am a Jordan fan. I am a LeBron fan. I was not a Kobe fan because I felt that we only had one Jordan, and I felt like Kobe was a mirror copy or Jordan 2.0, so to speak. And I felt like that was intruding on the first. But as I learned and I watched and peeled back the layers, it was easy for me to fall for him as a person. Once he left the game, certain atmospheres was removed, and certain aspects of him was displayed that piqued my interest because it was my interest as far as drawing, enjoying shorts, tall tales, so to speak, that he was indulging in, and cartoons and anime and stuff that I like, and he got involved in that. But nevertheless, what moved me so far in the documentary, which is not done yet, I put it on pause, I'll probably finish it another day, is that his relationship with his parents, and I feel like that get lost in the crossfire after his death and the relationship between Vanessa and the parents. We all got different opinions when it comes to individuals that's in relationships, individuals that move forward into adulthood, and for those that make the decision to cross the line of marriage. As they say, when you get married, you know your wife become the focal point, or should be the focal point, center of what you have going on. I think it's both ways. People talk as if that, a lot of times the husband is non-existent here. When they make a phrase, a happy wife, happy life, as if you're not supposed to do anything to make the husband happy for him to want to stay either. It's just her and that's it. And I think it's bullshit. As I've gotten older and I have became a husband, my eyes roll, because I'm just one of those type of people that, yes, the woman is important. Yes, she is a prize, but I am a prize too. As a man, I am a prize too. And I arrived at that point because I know my worth. I know what I have to offer. And not that one is perfect, not that one is not still learning. If you're still living, you still have an opportunity to learn, and you still have an opportunity to get up again and try it again. When other people don't have that opportunity anymore, once they leave us, once they leave this earth, as they would consider their chapters closed, their work is done. As most people put it, I don't think that's always the case all the time. Sometimes things get cut short, and it might be due to decisions that one would make that might be irresponsible. Some might be due to health issues that could be avoided. Some could have not been avoided. Least expected, never no symptoms, and then voila, you're gone. Array of emotions. What am I talking about here? I'm just sharing it in just life experiences as a whole will take you a lot of twists and turns, and you're going to lose people that you love along the way and you have respect for, and you've built relationships with, no matter what those relationships, how it started. I look at Kobe's situation and I look at myself and I realize that, again, we're just human. Just one might have more access in a lot of areas than me. But it's a constant reminder that, death is part of this process, as well as life. I just pray and hope that God allow me to live, a long life, and I get the opportunity to accomplish everything that I want before I leave this place. I am concerned on how our world is going and what direction it's going. I am concerned for our next generation because of the irresponsibilities of the elders before. I've had countless conversations over the years in different walks of life with individuals, some that I knew closely, some I did not know closely. And the scuttlebutt of it all, I've always given pushback in some degrees in regards to elders not taking responsibility for their hand and our young people misdirection and misguidance right now today. You have those same elders that have led our young people in a burning bush, as they would say in regards to Bible scriptures, or Martin Luther King in his own circle of men, allegedly. I will just say that we have to love on our young people. They need us. And I do believe that some elder people feel like they're not needed anymore. I don't agree with that, but I believe that there are some out there that's very stubborn and don't embrace change, don't embrace the fact that the glory days of old is not now. That doesn't mean that you don't exist. That doesn't mean you're not important. It just means you have a different role to fill versus you being the front person. Now you might be the middle person. You know, things are changing. Things are changing rapidly. Again, every person that may have had an impact in my life, indirectly, as I lose people every time, those that I consider to have, relationships with, it's hard to say. I put it like this: when people sow into your life, a part of you, you feel like a part of you is gone. Pieces of you gone. With that being said, sometimes it's hard keeping going forward because of you thinking about your immortality. It brings you back to that. Or if these people that I consider to be in my circle to some degree, and sometimes people can be in your circle, right? It's people that's in your circle that people visually know and see on a day-to-day, and then they have people behind the scenes that people don't realize or wouldn't even imagine, oh, you had a relationship with that person until like the end. They don't know. A lot of people don't know. It can't draw a parallel until after the fact. But for the most part, man, sometimes people think they know what they don't know. They don't know shit. And at the end of the day, they don't know unless you tell them. And with that being said, just like anything else, man, I listened to this documentary and I seen it and I'm like, wow. So far, like the stuff the dude went through. Some Kobe, some Tracy said in the beginning of his career, there was a lot of hate going on, and I'm listening, and I mean, sometimes people can make statements from a biased perspective because a person could be a friend or associate to you, and I think it's good. I think it's honorable to, you're gonna not really talk bad about your friend, even though it's like it's certain conversations you would have with somebody close to you if they doing wrong, right? Or you might, I wouldn't even say scold them, but might get on their butt and call them out about some things, but you would never put them out on Front Street. But in that instance, I'm thinking to myself, like, the whatever vitriol Kobe got in the beginning of his career, he did bring it on himself. So we can't sit up here and act like that didn't happen. Rather, if he might have been guilty or not, it's beside the point. Even when you might be cleared of something, you putting yourself in that situation can be far worse, and it can last, even more deeper impact than you being found guilty, because people will always put doubt in people's mind, and I think that nobody's perfect. But as Kobe put it in his latter years of retirement, and I've always been one that was a firm believer of it, is that imperfection itself is a beauty in it. As he said, and not in his words, but in mine. But he did mention or made the correlation of imperfection is the beauty in it. And I believe that myself. I've made the phrase or coined the phrase on my own of mastering your imperfections. Because the truth of the matter is you'll never be perfect. You'll drive yourself completely mad, as some journalists would say, or people that's not of color would say, mad, crazy, mad, word mad, or in our more herbal type verbiage, nuts, crazy. It's like, hey, I refuse to wrestle with this whole notion of being perfect. Being perfect does not mean that you just let yourself go and assume that you just being human is enough to cover you from your transgressions. The truth of the matter is, it's a trick. And don't get tricked off. Don't get tricked off your position. And that's the lesson in that. As far as Kobe's situation, as far as other people's situation that may have endured that, or worse, of being accused of anything, or have been through trials and tribulations. Not necessarily that. Don't allow yourself to be tricked out of your position. Keep your head down and keep pressing. Don't allow everybody to know all your dreams, all your ins and outs, until you know for sure that these things are coming to pass. And they come to pass to where they cannot sabotage it before it does. Sometimes God give us a word where it's only for us and for no one else's ears to hear. And sometimes God reveal things to us only for our eyes to see and for nobody else's eyes to see. And the only way that you would know this is if you in tune with him. Is a constant work, is a constant dance. Just because you read the Bible and you know all the scriptures don't make you more godly than a person that don't. Because even the devil knew the Bible from back to forwards. Even the devil knew God's work and his ins and outs. Why do you ask? According to the Bible, according to certain texts, he was his second in command. He was the most beautiful angel in the world, in the universe. He was the angel of music, as some would say. So, with that being said, he would know. So, with that being said, man, love on your people. Tell them how you feel. Don't allow any moment to put you in a space where you regret what you could have said, should have did with an individual. And if time could permit, don't allow yourself to put off so much things where you lose sight of what's important. But that is my opening of this video, and I'm sorry. But I recommend that you watch Kobe, The Making of a Legend, streaming on HBO Max. It is a beautiful work of art. I think it was well put together thus far in illustrating Kobe's life, public life, from the beginning to now. I really hope that the parents and Vanessa come to some terms one day. That would be nice. But we must start with the first topic, and I have to be quick and not long-winded. So, first topic of the day is the NBA. As you know, the race is on. It's the last 10 to 12 games left in the season. The Lakers are giving up games that they shouldn't be giving up. They gave up a game with the Bulls. It was up by 5 with 12.6 seconds left, only for the Bulls to come back and win by 2 on the buzzer beater. So, I think they lost to the Bulls. They lost to the Magic. They beat Indiana on a buzzer beater. Then they beat Memphis last night. LeBron had 25. Luka had 29. Austin Reed had 31. They got the roll. I feel like they got to win out. No game plan now. Is edging towards the playoffs. The goal is to get that parade. So, let's get it. So, as we know, OKC is clinched. Cleveland is clinched. Boston has clinched. Those three has clinched playoff positions. And the West is still jockeying. A lot of teams are within game to 3 games apart. We're going to see how this falls. Phoenix have not been eliminated as of yet. Neither have the Mavs. They brought back Anthony Davis. They've been winning as of late. They lost probably one game that I can aware of since he's been back. We're going to see how this rolls. But I want to do a separate video about Stephen A's reaction to LeBron going on the Pat McAfee show. I would just say this. Stephen A is full of it. I understand people out there that is diehard Jordan fans. And I am a Jordan fan. Do I consider myself a diehard? Maybe when I was young. As I got older, I'm more into not just the player, the man. The man I did not like. The stuff that I've learned. But I did understand and accept the fact that none of us is perfect. All of us are men in progress, a work in progress. There are some things that I might not do that one would do. And just because I disapprove of them doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It doesn't mean that I'm better than you because I don't do it at all. But nevertheless, I don't have to like you either. So, with that being said, I love the basketball, Jordan, as far as a competitor. Things that I've learned that he may have taken too far. Things that I've learned that have served as a advantage that people, gloss over because they like him. Things that others have done after him that they criticize and used against them, they did not use against Jordan. People say, and people get irritated, there's a lot of people that don't like LeBron for their reason. And I think part of it has a lot to do with the media. And I am so glad that LeBron actually spoke his mind See, when you allow people to keep talking and running their mouth, then what they say becomes the gospel. What they say becomes the truth, even with no evidence. Certain things is beyond numbers in a game. And we're talking about the game of life. We understand if you are an advocate basketball player or sport, you must understand there's two sides of it. You got the game itself that you play, and then you got the game outside of the game, meaning business, the stuff that surrounds it. People have to be really, really, really realistic when it comes to Jordan, the conversation on how it came about in regards to the players that's involved and who all benefited and continue to benefit from it. The bottom line is, they say that Jordan got criticized. Yeah, about him winning, but that don't get talked about enough. What I'm saying is this: a lot of the youngsters wasn't around long enough to know that Jordan was criticized for not winning, but the criticism wasn't on the level that it was with LeBron, because we're dealing with the age of social media. So the vitriol, as far as LeBron concerned, it's not even compared. Jordan criticism compared to LeBron? Not even close. Y'all let him slide with more stuff, and y'all allowed him to grow into the Jordan, the myth that we know him as today. People are full of boo-boo, full of monkey bull. Jordan didn't win anything until 91. They rarely even talk about when he got kicked out the playoffs, first round, and get swept and get embarrassed. Now, him as an individual didn't get embarrassed. His play was through the roof. But his team dynamic suffered because he wasn't a team first guy. And to in his defense, he didn't have a proper team around him. But he was able to get them in the playoffs with a losing record. But they was getting trounced. People say, when he going to watch? What does that mean? Because if we're going to say that, on your watch, meaning years that you played, sir. That's how I interpret that. So if we're going to say that, then 9 out of the 6 years that he's been in the league, because they give him a couple of years even though he was injured. So they credit him for 15 years in the league. Out them 15 years, 9 of them was losing seasons. But they ain't going to talk about that. They only going to focus on the 6 years that he won. Now, when he started winning, all the people that was in his way got old and they was out his way. That still didn't take away from the fact that he was good. He was more than good. He was great. But don't sit up here and tell me that the league didn't protect him. It was a lot of stuff he was doing outside of basketball. It was a lot of stuff that he was doing that could harm his basketball reputation. So cut it out. All this stuff that y'all talk about, LeBron complained to the refs. Jordan was just as worse. In fact, you have mics with him with other refs talking about the stuff that he did for them outside of basketball, trying to get favorable calls. On the mic, they're catching it on the mic with him having a full-fledged conversation with a ref, complaining, bitching, getting in their face, yelling at them, pointing at them, making contact with them, where people get thrown out the game for that. So don't tell me he didn't get no favoritism, bro. It's a documentary, they may have scrubbed it on the internet, where he had former reps that admitted of partying with him, chasing women with him allegedly, have received gifts from him, autographed stuff that they probably could sell in an auction and make way more money, twice a they whole career salary. So don't give me this stuff. Don't give me that. And I'm a Jordan guy, but if we're going to talk about it in truth. You don't hear no stuff like that LeBron doing that. Because LeBron is last when it comes to going to the line. So you can't say he get no favorable calls with the refs. Not on the level of Jordan. So my thing is LeBron don't have to be Jordan. He can be LeBron. He don't need to be Jordan. He don't have to be. You can be inspired by somebody, but you ain't got to be them. You can set your own path. And I feel like LeBron has done that. So people get mad because you feel like he's threatening one's legacy, but in fact, he's not. He's laying his own. I don't get it. I don't get the hate, man. I don't get it. There's so much stuff I can say, but I'm gonna keep it there. But I'm gonna make a video about this whole situation because I've been itching for this for a while, and this whole shenanigans about Stephen A. lying about LeBron not being at the funeral. He getting called out, getting busted, caught up in his lie. And this whole thing about Dwayne Wade and him not being at the retirement ceremony for them being so close. Man, he didn't really put his foot in his mouth. He didn't lie. And the crazy thing about it, all the Kobe fans and the Laker fans that didn't like LeBron ate it up for years. Now we find out the truth. Now, a lot of us knew that LeBron was there. We didn't know why he wasn't shown on the camera. Now we know why. See, the media get a chance to say whatever they want to say when an athlete allowed them to run them up when they didn't have no power and they ain't have outlets like they have now and have platforms that they have now. Out of it, all this out. So all that check your source and you having sources on this and that, it can be challenged when it never was challenged before. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. But I'm going with the Lakers to win it all. The momentum is in their hands. They're playing with the church's money. And I had a feeling like this before. With the Cavaliers winning in 16. I called it before the season. I called it before the playoffs that they was going to win it. People called me crazy. I should have put my money where my mouth was. But another time that I called it was with the 06 Cardinals. I think it was the 06 Cardinals when they came back 10 games down, 10 games to get in the playoffs. That run, I called that. And I was crazy. I should have put money on it. When I get feelings like that, I have been right so far. So, I'm going to leave it there on that. So, you got the NBA, NFL. Can't wait until the season start. Cowboys making some moves. Russell Wilson end up with the Giants. Sign a 1-year deal. We're going to see how everything goes. Rodgers, give and take, don't know where he's going. Steelers, signed, I think DK Metcalf. I think I may have mentioned this before in another video. Rodgers still haven't made a decision yet. We're going to see how this thing plays out. But I believe Shador is going to be drafted in the top 5. Same for Travis. Cam, we're going to see how it goes. NHL. Blues are 8, have won 8 straight. Keep rolling. They already clinched a playoff berth. I love their chances. Hopefully I get a chance to go to a playoff game. We'll see how everything goes and go from there. Let's see. March Madness. I picked on one of my brackets. College basketball for women and men. Picked one of my brackets. Auburn to win it. Other one, I picked Houston to win it. They're still in it. Women's, I picked South Carolina. They still in it. So we're going to see how this goes. Let's see. Oh, man. I hope all is well with y'all out there. I'm going to end this quickly. I hope all is well. My prayers and thoughts to you all out there in the universe that have lost a loved one, friends, family, co-worker, anybody that might have touched your life or impacted your life in some type of capacity. I pray that you find the strength to keep going and use them as a sense of inspiration and motivation to live. Some people, man. Some people are alive, but have yet to begin to live. A lot of us don't know how to live life, yet we are fooled to think that we're living life just because we are alive. It is an absolute lie. An experience will teach you that. Hopefully, when it's not too late. I'm out. Love is love. Peace, be still. God is moving. The universe has spoken. I'm gone.